Right, let's try this first problem right here. And what it wants us to do is find our horizontal, vertical asymptotes, and holes. And we're also going to start out by finding the domain. For my domain, it's all the values that x cannot equal. So we know it's all real numbers except for what? Well, if I look at my denominator, I know that with x minus 2, if I plug 2 in for x, it's going to give me 0. So x cannot equal 2. And then for my next one, here I have x plus 4. Well, in order to get that to equal 0, I'd have to plug in negative 4. We don't want to get 0 in the denominator, so we have to say x cannot equal negative 4 as well. There's my domain. The next part, my holes. Do I have any holes in the graph? Let's see. If anything cancels, that means that it's a hole. Well, I have x minus 2 and x minus 2 that can cancel. That means I have a hole at x equals 2. Whatever cancels, that's the hole in the graph. Vertical asymptote is next. For my vertical asymptote, it's whatever is left in the denominator. I would write that down. Whatever's left in the denominator after you cancel, that gives me my vertical asymptote. Well, in this case, x plus 4 is left in the denominator. So I solve that for x, and I get x equals negative 4. Notice how the two parts of my domain here match up with my two parts right here. The holes in the vertical asymptotes should match up with the numbers that you get here. Now, you're not always going to have a hole. You're not always going to have vertical asymptotes. Sometimes you'll have both. Sometimes you'll have one or the other. Lastly, our horizontal asymptote. This is one that is kind of tricky for people. Well, here, if I were to multiply the numerator out, I would have x times x, which is x squared. So I have x squared in the numerator, basically. And then here I'm going to have x and x once again, so I get x squared again. That means I have a degree of 2 in the numerator and a degree of 2 in the denominator. Well, when that's the case, I know it's the ratio of the leading coefficients. Well, I have 1x squared and 1x squared, so I get y equals 1 over 1, which is just y equals 1. It is very, very important that you have x equals 2 for your hole, a hole at x equals 2. Vertical asymptote is x equals negative 4, and horizontal is y equals 1. If you do not have the x equals or the y equals, it will be marked incorrect.